Join me for a quick 10-minute full body movement practice. In tall kneeling or standing, reach up over the sky as you take a deep breath in, and exhale as you hinge at the hips and let the air out. Inhale as you reach up again, filling your lungs as much as possible, and let that air squeeze out. One more time, reach up as far as you can, and exhale. Curl your toes under and place your hips on your heels and perform some shoulder rotations. We'll be doing 5 going posteriorly. Now we'll do some head rotations, just half circles coming towards the front from one shoulder to the other. Taking your time, paying attention to where you hear some crepitus, some crunching in your neck, and just letting that tension go. Now perform some rotations, looking from your right to your left. Exhaling as you rotate, looking about 3 times to each side. Make sure to use your eyes to look as far as you can as well, and use those eye muscles to see as far as possible at the same time. Get down on your hands and knees and prime your hips, hinging back and forth a few times, warming up the joints. Come back on your heels and we'll do some glute clenching hip thrusts into tall kneeling. Slide your knees apart so that your ankle and foot are touching one knee. And now switch to the other side, squeezing that glute, getting a nice stretch in the hip flexor that is up. After a few of these, right to left, keeping your ankles in the same position, we're going to move into another hip thrust. So rotate and come up, and switch to the other side, and again come up. Make sure to really squeeze those glutes so you get that stretch. This is increasing your stability in different ranges. Grab your band and a pillow and lay down on your back. Loop the band around one foot, and we'll be doing some single leg lowering. If you don't have a band, you can do this without the band. Slowly bring down your heel all the way to the ground and touch and come back up. This is great core activator as well as it is loosening up your posterior chain. Come up with control and exhale as you come down slowly. On your next leg up, switch the band into the other leg. And now repeat on the other side. Try to do about the same on each side. Make sure that both your knees are straight as you're lowering your leg down to the ground. And try to make sure that the leg that's doing the action is able to pass the other leg that's staying up towards the sky. Notice that the feet are engaged, also encouraging a full posterior stretch. Loop the band around the first foot again, and this time we're going to do ankle rotations. So against the resistance of the band, we'll do 5 circles of the ankle. Notice where it might pull, and feel free to work into that area first a little longer. You'll feel the stretch throughout your calves. Make sure to rotate in the other direction as well. Trying to do about the same amount of rotations one direction as the other. And now switch to the other side. Again, looping the band around your foot and holding on to the band with your hands with your elbows down towards the ground. This helps engage your core a little bit so there's more stability to enable more mobility at the ankle joint. We'll now be going into some tactical frogs, getting on our hands and knees, Spreading our knees as far apart as is comfortable, only feeling about a 3 out of 10 in stretch between the groin. Resting on my elbows, I'm rocking front to back. Notice that the movement is coming from the hips and not from the low back. After warming up a bit, I'm now rotating to one side, letting my hip bone come down towards the ground. The objective here is to pump my foot up towards the ceiling as I get a deeper stretch into my hip flexor and adductors. Come out of this position with control and lay down on your back to go into some glute bridges. It's always great to layer some stability after some mobility work. Turn to your side and try to have your head supported so that your cervical spine is in line with your spine. Bring up your knees and we'll be doing some open rotations, opening up our thoracic spine. Breathe in and exhale as you rotate your upper body away from your knees. Inhale as you come back and repeat. Let's rotate to the other side. Remember, bring your knees up to about hip height. And now rotate as you exhale. Inhale as you come in and exhale. Try to do deep diaphragmatic breaths that come all the way down to your pelvis. Now, to further create more mobility in our spine, we are going to get on our hands and knees to do some scapula pumps. In this movement, the shoulder blades, the scapulas, are moving close together and away from each other. We'll now do some cat camels with a foam roller. If you don't have a foam roller, you can just do normal cat camels. On a foam roller, rest your hands sideways on the foam roller as you go into cat, and then roll out into camel, exhaling. Feel that stretch through your anterior body. Put the foam roller aside and lay down on your stomach, resting in a cobra position. Press into the ground with your arms and do some yeses with your spine and your cervical spine. Bring your chin to your chest and exhale as you extend your neck back. Bring your neck to neutral position, and now let's do some rotations looking over our shoulder. Exhale as you rotate and try to look as far away as you can to the opposite foot. Exhale as you rotate again. And again to the other side. Now that we've loosened up our spine, our upper back, let's grab a band and do some band pull aparts with our arms straight at shoulder height. Keep the elbows straight and make sure that the contraction is coming between your shoulder blades and your back. Bring your sternum forward as you do this action. Now we'll work on external rotation. Bring your elbows in and rotate your arms out, squeezing again around the shoulder blade and specifically the lower trapezius. Now that our postural muscles are all firing, make sure that your posture is great with your shoulders back. And now let's do some chin tucks. As you're bringing your chin back, aim to bring your skull up to the sky at the same time, making a very long neck. And that wraps up our movement practice. Thank you for participating.